Hello, everybody, and welcome back to this series where I am explaining you how to work on real world problems. World problems? No, real business problems. So, in the last episode, we explored the NovaCart dataset, and today we investigate our first real business problem. I said it right this time. Now, why aren't customers repeating? Is the question. Before touching the data, let us define the metric first. Hmm, okay. Now, what all do we have here? So the question that I said is, why aren't the customers repeating? This is a very vague question, and analysts don't work with vague. We need to refine our question. And when I say that, I would put it as, what is the repeat purchase rate at NovaCart? NovaCart is the business that we are working for now. Now, okay, you might say that this question is very difficult for me to understand for somebody who does not understand all these terminologies very well. But although you must actually understand these because this is not very technical. So, how would I explain it? What am I doing here? I am defining what do I mean by repeat customer. Okay, that is what I'm trying to define here. So, there are two options that I'll give you here. Option one being where customer type is returning, meaning customer with greater than one order ID. So any customer to whom more than one order IDs have been defined. And in our data set, this is the data set we were working on. Here we already have a column called as customer type. And this customer type has new and returning customers. But can you trust this column? Okay. We should always validate what we see here. So we are going to calculate this ourselves as well. Okay. And again, before we do that, we're still going to go back and see how do I calculate this. Okay. Like I said, we are going to calculate that ourselves. Now, how do I calculate it? What do I mean by repeat purchase rate? Repeat purchase rate would be customers with more than one order, and I'll divide it by total unique customers in my dataset. Now, you might ask me, why would I divide this? Because if I give you the raw count of customers who have placed more than one order, that's not a very good idea. Why do I say that? Because let's say if there are 50 customers repeated who have placed repeated orders, if that is out of 60, it's really good. But what if it is out of 5,000 customers, only 50 have repeated? That is a problem, isn't it? So that is the reason why we calculate proportion instead of just taking the number. Now, the logic is clear to us, right? How are we going to calculate this? Now, why did I show it to you here? Imagine if there was a time, of course, there was a time that there were no Excel or any tool. There were only registers where we used to write all this information, and this calculation still used to happen. Then, how did it happen then? So this will help you build your logic. Now that the logic is clear, let's go to the dataset. I'm just going to do it on a Google Sheet. I'll show you how I would do it over here. And let me tell you, this may not be the best way to do it. I'm just showing you one possible ways to answer that question. There can be many other ways to answer it. Even on the Google Sheet itself, there can be several other ways to answer the same question. Okay, so here, how will I do this? This is the data set that I have. Customer ID column is C here, and order ID column is A. I want total unique customers. For this, what I'll do, count unique. Now, I'm not going to teach you these formulas here. I'm just going to perform these steps, since this is just mostly about understanding the problem statement and solving it rather than learning the tool. If you want me to give you these formulas, let me know. I'll just probably uh, put this as some notes in the description. Okay. So now these are the total unique customers, not repeated. If there are any repeated customers, that will not appear here. Only the unique customers would appear here. Okay. Now I'm going to create a pivot table. So in the rows, I'll take up customer ID. And in here, I'll take order ID. Uh-oh. In the values, sorry. Order ID. Okay. Now what do I have here? Each customer and their repeated IDs. So now with this one, I've got my answer, isn't it? Anybody who has got more than one order, only one order, this is not repeating. These customers are not repeating. But these customers, they are repeating. I can see more than one order. Okay. What you can do, you can leave it at this. And that's absolutely fine. But what I want is, I want to perform that calculation. Do you remember unique customers divided by the repeated customers divided by unique customers is what we need, right? So for that, I'm going to go a step ahead. What I'm going to do, I'm creating another column here where I'll specify if B2 value here is greater than 1, then they are repeat customers. Otherwise, they're just one-time customers. And I'm going to apply it for the entire thing. Then I'm going to count how many repeat customers do we have over here. Okay. And for this, what I do, let me just count. Count if. You can simply just type C and it will give you the answer. Let me just do it down. So here, count if the entire column it will take up. Now in this count, wherever there is a repeat, it will count all of those. Okay, so 872 customers who are repeating. This number has to be, so this 1104 has to be divided by this to get the, what do you say, the repeated customers proportion that we thought we would calculate, right? So this is D1108. Now here, and this I'm going to divide by L3. Okay, this would give me a number. So what did I do? I'm dividing that 872, those are unique customers, by this. So what is the proportion? And let me just calculate the percentage. This percentage that you see here, this is our repeat purchase rate. Okay, so that's how I would do it. Now, the problem is solved. How many of the customers are actually repeating? Do we have repeat customers? Was that the questions? Oh, the question was, why aren't the customers repeating? Now, in this case, that question itself doesn't make sense, right? If 79% of the customers are repeating, so don't you think this is already a very good amount? So Now, although this number does not answer this question, because now this 79%, 78.99% that I'm able to see here, this is a good number as per me, and I'll not believe when they say that the customers aren't repeating. But this can be based on several other factors. What if they want to see, they have it based on regions, and they say that, okay, now check in each region. So those questions will solve it in the coming episodes. This was on an entire, if I look at the entire data set, based on all the values that I have, this is the repeat customers, what do you say, behavior. Now, repeat behavior is rarely uniform. It is possible that some regions may have loyalty issues, and that's why that's happening. Okay, so this is something we will calculate as we go ahead. And why did the people of this company think that the customers are not repeating? This is something we will analyze in the next episode. And before I close this, I would want to know, let's say if you were using SQL, for all the SQL people out there, how would you calculate repeat purchase rate? And do you think there would have been a better way to do it here in the Google Sheets? Do let me know that. I'll see you in the next video.